How to deal with negative feedback when trying to make a change. It is day 4 of Project Newborn, a framework to a 50-day challenge I created to allow people to make a drastic and lasting change in their life. If it is your first time seeing me, my name is Pharrell, I'm 19 and me and my pregnant girlfriend have just moved to Bali. You heard it right, I'm going to be a dad in less than 2 months. But when my girlfriend became pregnant unexpectedly, I was doing drugs, I was living at my parents' house and I was working for a company. Project Newborn helped me to change my life within 50 days. And because I have so much experience in making a change, in actually making a change again right now, I know that negative feedback when trying to become a better person can make you really unsure and insecure about your actions. There are many different ways of interpreting and dealing with this negative feedback. And I can assure you, the feedback is the most powerful weapon to better yourself. I'm not saying you should always change what people don't like about you, but what I do say is that you should always listen to the feedback you get because it can help you a lot. I will share with you my learnings that help me dealing and interpreting feedback. A huge misconception I was having for a long time is that people who are not having the same mindset, the same goals, cannot give me feedback I should value. But even a homeless man can give you valuable feedback. An old friend of mine is very passionate about making money and he's all in on making money. But he is failing as a human and all the people in school tell him that he needs to change things about his attitude, about how he speaks to people, about how he treats people. And I asked him, why don't you value their feedback? Why don't you try to make a change? And he's saying, well, I wouldn't like to change with those people. Those people will never become millionaires. Those people will never reach financial freedom. He's failing with human interactions, with human connections. And if he would start to value this feedback, even though it's from people he doesn't really value based on their goals, based on their beliefs, he would get along a lot better with people. He would manage to build true connections with people, which actually would help him with his goal of becoming a millionaire. I know that this goal is like your life goal is a very limited goal, but this is another topic. My point is that you can get valuable feedback from everyone. Also, what I was talking about, you should always keep an eye on what part of someone is speaking. Even your friends can give you feedback you shouldn't really value. Back then, when I tried to make a change, I started to adapt habits as journaling and meditating. And they were making fun of me for this. They were telling me this leads you nowhere, this is all stupid stuff. And now that I look back, I know that it was their fear of missing out talking. People who make fun of you for creating content, most likely somewhere in their subconscious mind, have the same dream of creating content. So it is very important to see where people are coming from, what makes them say what they are saying. And I'm lucky that I realized this quite early, because if I would have listened to the people that are close to me, I would be in college right now and I wouldn't embark on my own unique journey. Those two things should help you with how to interpret feedback. Now we have to find out how to deal with the feedback. And before I speak about what to actually implement from the feedback you get, I want to share a quick personal story with you. As I said, it is day 4 of Project Newborn for me. And I'm going through a change of becoming more of a businessman. I have the goal of supplying for my family financially. And to do so, I need to build myself a business. And that's why I embarked on the journey of Project Newborn again, to help me go through this change of becoming a new character, to embody a new identity, to embody my future self identity. And I want to use a struggle I was facing yesterday as an example on what you should change and what you shouldn't. Alena was very upset yesterday. She feels like she's coming too short, that she's falling too short throughout our daily days. She feels like I'm not really there for her anymore and that I only care about making Project Newborn work, that I only care about working on myself. My pregnant girlfriend is someone whose feedback I always value, obviously. But even though it is very valuable feedback, there are different ways of going about the feedback. There are many things between the lines she was telling me about. And when you don't communicate, when you don't actually sit and think about what the person is telling you, you will never find out about those very important things between the lines. For some of you, this might sound very obvious right now, but for the most of us, when we get some hard feedback in our face, we only hear those hard words. You are egoistic. And you only think about, am I egoistic? And you right away are going to be like, no, I'm not egoistic. And then you start arguing and this leads us to the most important part of how to deal with the feedback you get. What should you change? With the example of me and Elena, I was prioritizing business so much that it led to damage in our relationship. And that's when you have to make the hard decision. Okay, how do I go about this? What should I do now? How do I deal with this feedback? And what I'm preaching is to have clear values and priorities. As I said, my purpose with Project Newborn right now is to make a business work, is to become sort of a businessman, but with the purpose of supplying for my family. Which means I have the goal of running a business, but my number one priority is family. That's why it is very important to have your priorities straight and have an active eye on them, because it allows you to actively check up on, am I moving into the right direction? So me, with prioritizing Project Newborn so much, our relationship was taking damage from it. I knew that I'm moving into the right direction with my business, but with the bigger goal of becoming a good dad, of becoming a good husband eventually. I knew that I need to redirect where my time and energy is going. So to round this up, listen to all feedback. Don't value every feedback. Always try to picture where the people are coming from. And most importantly, have your priorities straight. Lastly, I want to share with you how Project Newborn can help you with all of this. When doing Project Newborn, you are embarking on a 50-day challenge to embody your dream future self identity. And you will be doing this by adapting the habits of your future self identity and by constantly reflecting on how life is going. That's why feedback plays a very important role, because through the feedback of Elena, I can actively redesign my lifestyle. I knew I need to spend more present time with Elena, and just on day 3 of Project Newborn, I already ran into mistakes of my future self-identity I usually would run into a few weeks, months into the process of making a change. By embodying your future self-identity very drastically, as you do with Project Newborn, you will face challenges and mistakes you usually face weeks and months down the path. And at the end of Project Newborn, you will know what it actually takes to be your future self-identity. That's why I believe Project Newborn is the most successful and quickest way of starting a new chapter in your life. If I caught your interest with Project Newborn, check out my Instagram. It's the same name as my YouTube, because I will launch a community very soon where we will embark on Project Newborn as a community. That's it with this video. Let's grow. Your Pharrell. Peace.